Welcome to Story Chats at Inspy Romance. I'm Elizabeth Madry, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
I'm Narelle Atkins.
I'm Valerie Comer.
Liwen Ho is joining us again today to talk about her recent release, Love at Second Sight. Thanks for being here, Liwen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the book?
Okay, it's a good thing I kind of reviewed it before this podcast. Basically, the whole series is about characters in their 40s or above. So the female, Cassie, she's a single mom. She lost her husband 3 years ago, and she has a friend who was actually the husband's best friend. His name is Brad, and he is they're total opposites. So she's an introvert, he's an extrovert, he's a celebrity, he's an actor, a movie star. So they have an interesting relationship, to say the least, but they kind of understand each other. And the premise of the story is that her late husband left them both a letter, and he kind of had it all set up before, because he was in the military. So he kind of knew that just in the case something happened to him, he was hoping that she would start dating again. And he wanted his best friend to help her with that. So that's the premise of the story.
Excellent. All right. So I think Narelle, you were up first. Is that correct? That is correct.
Oh.
Narelle, you're up first.
I think I am up first. Okay, so my question relates to what I call rom-com foodie humor. So I really like food humor in rom-coms. It's one of the things that I find quite hilarious and can laugh along. So my question relates to this particular book. Did you intend to have a lot of humor related to food in the story? And my other question relates to Brad. So does he really eat Spam on instant noodles? Because he's rich enough to book out a restaurant and basically have a completely private dinner with someone. So I just want to know if he really does eat Spam.
That's a good question. Yes, he does. Not willingly, of course. Yeah, but actually I based some of his characteristics off of my husband, who's an extrovert, and he loves Spam on his instant noodles. So, and the food humor, it kind of just came about. It wasn't intentional per se. I didn't go in thinking I was going to include a lot of food humor in it, but I love puns, so that just kind of came about naturally. Yeah.
All right, so we need the recipe. Like, what do you do to the Spam? Do you fry it first or something? I really struggled to picture this as well. Like, did you just you shake it out of the can and it goes onto a plate? And what's going on with the Spam and the noodles? What do you do?
Actually, it's a very common dish in Cantonese cuisine. Okay. So basically, it's a kind of like a breakfast item. So Spam goes with instant noodle. Could basically go with any breakfast item, but you take it out of the can and then you do fry it. So it's kind of crispy on the outside. Yeah.
Cubes? You cube it or
no,
slices?
Slices.
Okay. A slice.
Yeah.
And then you just put the slice on top of your noodles. Okay. I might try it. I'm game.
Okay.
Game to try it.
With some fried eggs too.
Okay. All right. See, we're gonna have to try it.
Okay.
I probably won't. Spam was what we used to get threatened with when we were kids if we were badly behaved.
No.
It was not our favorite thing. I remember that. It's like you're not going to behave yourself and you'll get Spam.
You'd be a good girl, Narelle, or Spam will be your dinner. No more dry bread and butter.
It was Spam, or I don't know if you had what's called Pex paste. That was worse than Spam though.
That sounds terrible.
That was like an anchovy. I think I don't even know. Maybe it's English, but it was just awful. The smell was just revolting, and they were the things that we get threatened with.
Now we would have just Spam sandwiches like on road trips, because it was either Spam sandwich, it literally is like 2 pieces of bread with Spam in the middle. That was that. Or we would, if mom was feeling fancy, we would get a can of the Underwood deviled ham, which is like a ham paste, but she just spread it really, really thin. Like one of those tiny little cans had to make all 4 sandwiches. So you got very little of the deviled ham between 2 slices of bread. We liked it better when we got Spam because that you could slice that a little thicker. Yeah.
So basically you got the scent of deviled
Yes,
ham.
the scent of deviled ham on white bread. It was always on Wonder Bread. So yeah, you can feel it right at the roof of your mouth if you think about it.
So,
sorry.
I'm what I'm missing right at the moment is the humor part of the food. I'm not. This isn't the humor.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not as funny as Liwen's book was. Sorry.
No, Liwen did it much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
All right, Valerie, what's your question?
It's not about food.
Not about
It's not about Spam, y'all. We'll be happy to know that. So Cassie is the heroine, and she is my kind of introvert. And also, yeah, I like to think of myself as a little bit punny at times as well. So I really could feel with her. And when I had a day job, which thankfully this is my day job now for the last 10 years, but when I had one, I'd make sure to run my errands at lunchtime and pick up groceries on the way home, because there's no stinking way I was going out again once I got home. Like, I'm done. If I didn't, I mean, church on the weekend, fine, I guess I'd go, but really I just did not leave again. So I could really feel with Cassie. She's coming home. Here it is. It's Friday night. Her mother-in-law, I've forgotten which,
mother, yeah,
takes her little boy for overnight, and she's just like in her old sweats with popcorn and a movie, and this is how she's gonna. I'm like, I am with you, girl, like totally. Now I have not experienced the loss of a spouse, so her way, but still her way of dealing with that loss makes total sense to me. But then there's this Brad guy. He puts the extra in extrovert, you know? So where did you draw inspiration from their relationship? Because you mentioned that before, that you're an introvert, and you mentioned before that your husband is not so much.
Yes.
So I'm sure it came from there, but I'd like a story or two.
Oh.
I'd like something
Okay.
that shows where Cassie and Brad came from.
Oh, well, definitely from real life. So Cassie is a lot like me. I'm pretty as introverted as can be. I mean, I don't like talking on the phone. Just thinking about it, having to answer is just like, I'd rather text if possible.
Yes.
So I really appreciate, all the online customer service that's available these days. And then Brad is not exactly like my husband. He's not a celebrity or anything, but in terms of being able to talk and just the energy level, that's all David. Because when I met him, literally I thought he was like a chinchilla. He was just bouncing off the walls. And over time, he's, of course, we've gotten older, so he's not as bouncy, but he is just so much more energetic. He can talk way more, maybe not even twice, but maybe 3 times as more than me on a given daily basis. So when I was writing Brad's dialogue, I had to force myself to just really add more. You can't just stop there, because that's not an extrovert. That's not what they would do. They would have all these details, like when my husband tells stories. Yeah, you can see our kids' eyes just glazing over, because after a while they're like, yeah, we've heard this one before. And he tells it with all the same exact details and with the same exact enthusiasm. So that's really pretty much where I got Brad from.
Adorable.
Yeah.
That's good. I think introverts, like especially like the really deep introverts, really need a partner or a best friend or something who's going to draw them out a little bit, or at least feel the like, no.
I don't think so. My husband is pretty introverted as well, and it means that we're both content to be at home in the evening, and we like it that way. Like we're okay with each other's company. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't see
you don't have an extroverted friend?
Not close enough to badger me.
Okay.
I mean, got rid of those a while back.
So you did.
Said no enough times. What can I say?
my husband and I are both introverts, but we can extrovert for the other when necessary, I think is what. And then one of my, like, actually, I think of all my friends locally, and they've adopted me. They're extroverts who have adopted me. So it's good. They feel the, because yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing I enjoyed, was all the little quips at the heads of the chapters, what the sayings about introverts and extroverts and other things there. I've always amused by those.
I enjoyed those more than writing this actual story. Yeah.
They pull you through the writing.
Yes.
Okay, so now it's my turn. So you told us a little bit about the setup with her husband having written these letters, and I'm just curious, like, do you think that's common? Do you think people do this? My first initial response, I was like, if my husband, like, because he was in the Army when we were first married, and if he had written these letters and tried to effectively set me up with his friend, I was thinking through like his friends, and I'm like, no, more no, also no, a lot of no's. I might have had to dig him up and like kick him a few times, and then I would put him back in the ground
and stomp on the dirt
a little bit. Where did that idea come from, and what got you thinking that would be super fun? And I think it's especially cruel, I'm going to add, that you did it to an introvert, because this poor introverted girl is like, really, from the grave, you can't leave me alone, even. So.
Yeah. I know, I feel so bad.
It worked out. So I will say it worked out, and it was adorable. But
yeah, actually, going into writing the whole series, I had planned for one character to be a single mom, to see, to have kind of had the marriage before, because I thought, that's pretty normal. I didn't want them all to be single and never been in a relationship before. So I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Yeah, because I was hoping, it would be lighthearted and, funny. But so having her be a single mom, having her have lost her husband, that just kind of threw a whole wrench into my plans.
Yeah.
So I kind of needed to make something more lighthearted be a part of the the plot. So I'm not even sure how I came up with the letter from her late husband, but I thought that would be kind of like the perfect setup, because like she can't really say no to him,
right.
Well, yeah, by that point. So
yeah. No, it was super fun and unique. Like, that's not one, which I loved, because it's not, oh, here we go with, the you've got mail trope or whatever, which, I mean, I adore the you've got mail trope. So no dissing there, but, please rewrite that every day. But I also love new, and it was super fun and clever. I was just like, do you plot, or are you a pantser also?
I'm a pantser,
okay.
But I kind of had to learn to plot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of writing a series, I want to bring in characters from the upcoming book. So I kind of had to think of at least who they were as a character. So yeah.
Cool. Are there
but
more?
To be fair.
Oh, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, but to be fair, like her late husband was actually quite smart in terms of knowing that the only person who would actually draw her out was going to be Brad, and that Cassie was going to be the one person who could love him, not without it being the Hollywood money that is loved, if that makes sense.
That is true.
So to me, it was very interesting. But what would have happened if Brad had been in a relationship when he died? I mean, all these things go through my head, but that's only because I'm probably just a weird author. Things about all the things that could have gone wrong with this setup, but thankfully didn't.
Yeah, no, that's a totally legit question. I think someone did ask me that, but I figured, well, he's so anti-relationship, anti-commitment that maybe if the husband figured that he would still be single by then.
Right.
So.
See, that thought didn't occur at all, because Brad was so clearly just like the Hollywood bachelor forever, total. Like, I could totally see he was not going to be in any kind of relationship. I also loved, that he's the one and only Brad bit which not pitch. I loved all the puns, but that one, I think every time I chuckled over that, every time I came up, I was like, yep, that's super clever. Super fun.
Wanted to say about the setup though. I mean, technically the deceased husband didn't say out loud, you two should date each other, you'd be perfect for each other if I weren't in the picture. He said Brad should help her get her, seeing people again. And so he could have, if he were married, he could have said, hey, I've got this friend who would be, let me set up a blind date with you with this other guy that I know. Like there were ways around it if Brad had been in a relationship.
But was there a second letter then where he gave him permission to romance Cassie? I remember distinctly that there was permission for Brad to romance Cassie.
Yeah, that's the letter that Brad got. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he had been in a relationship, then her letter would have overruled. I hope that we're making sense, people. And if you're not, then you should just go read the book, and then it will
read
make
the book. Yes.
Then
and
come
then
back
come
and
back.
listen again.
Yes.
Yeah, minor
Hopefully
details.
you're at least intrigued. You're like, oh my goodness, this sounds amazing, because it is super, super fun. Are these are novella length, is that correct?
It's 40K, so yeah.
Okay, so long novella, short novel. They're a perfect afternoon read for me. If you read fast like I do, they're a perfect afternoon read. It was just perfect.
Just a few hours. And I have to say that of all the books that I read in the last few weeks, I probably enjoyed this one more than most, because of the puns, probably. And because I could just really feel for Cassie with the whole introvert thing. So it was really well done, and I enjoyed it. Thank you, Liwen.
Oh,
and if you haven't read any of the others in the Fab 40s, it stands completely alone. I'm assuming, because I sadly have not yet caught up. So I'm assuming that her friend and the friend's husband are a previous one of the books. Okay,
yeah,
good.
They were the book before.
Okay, good. Because I'm excited. I liked them a lot. And I'm like, gosh, I hope they're one of these stories that I haven't gotten to yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Excellent. It's such a fun series. I've really enjoyed all the books. So I think there's one I might not have read. I think I've read 3 or 4. Yeah. Only because of time.
No.
Oh.
Well, to be honest, it's hard to write rom-com. It's hard to be funny all the time. So I need a break.
That's fair.
Besides 4 books for the 40s.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. No, rom-coms are tricky. I've attempted to write one. I do not think I succeeded. So I don't call it
one.
A Heart Restored is technically supposed to be a rom-com.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one.
But yeah,
it's supposed to be rom-com. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got a couple amusing moments, but it's not a rom-com.
It is hard because we're all so different, that sometimes what other people are like, oh, that was so funny, I laughed and laughed. I'm like, I kind of smirked once, so basically, I figure that if a heralded rom-com makes me smile and is light and amusing, then it is probably what other people would call hilarious or funny.
Yeah, I mean,
some kinds of humor don't do it for me at all, but yours does. So
I don't expect everyone to enjoy it. I mean, I did get a 1-star rating, so that's good. No, it's totally fine. I mean, I don't enjoy all rom-coms that I read either. So humor is very subjective.
It is very subjective. It's hard. And I like to think that I get some amusing moments into my stories as well, but to be like funny on demand, like page after page, whoa, hats off to those who can pull it off.
Yes, for sure. What's next for you, Liwen?
So right now I'm working on the current book for the Heroes of Freedom Ridge series that will be coming out in October.
Excellent. And what is yours going to be called this year?
It's called Second Chance with a Hero.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and it's featuring older characters too.
Yay. Okay. Which, cool. For those of us who are following Freedom Ridge, who are your characters? I'm assuming we've met them before.
Kind of, sort of. They're actually Jeremiah from Love Pact with a Hero. They're his parents.
Okay. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Very cool.
So,
I loved
yeah.
Love Pact with the Hero. That was a fabulous one.
Thanks.
Excellent. And so October for that.
Yes.
Other questions, ladies, about
I think I'm good.
Narelle? Do you have any more? No, you good?
no, I'm good. Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share about Love at Second Sight, Liwen?
No.
No.
I
Okay,
mean,
just put you on
I'm
the
just-
spot time after time.
Well,
That's what we do.
okay, I will share that I'm really glad I wrote it, even though it was like pulling teeth at the time. I did get a review from one reader that really touched me. So she lost her husband a few years ago, and she said that it felt like I understood her. And I can't say I understand at all, but just for her to say that
You really
she enjoyed
connected.
it, and yeah, so
Yeah.
I was like, worth writing.
That's fantastic. That's the best kind of feedback ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Remind everyone where they can find you and your books.
So you can find me at liwenho.com. All my books are on there.
Okay. All right. And these are in Kindle Unlimited. Okay.
Yes.
Is most of your catalog in Kindle Unlimited?
Yeah,
Okay.
most of them. Yeah.
And you have audiobooks on YouTube. Is that correct?
I do. Yes.
Okay. What is that? Do you have your own channel name, or
I
you
do.
have a funky one?
No, I think it's no, it's actually, I think it's author Liwen Waiho, I think.
Okay.
It's
All right. I'll
yeah,
look it
it'll-
up and I'll
yeah.
put it in the show notes because
Thank you. It's-
those are fun. I've listened to several that you have, and they're AI voices, but they're really well done. They're
yeah,
very
there
listenable.
are, there
Yeah.
are some real narrators
Oh,
too.
Okay. I haven't
Yeah.
found those yet. So
Yeah,
I
they're
need
newer,
to up
so.
my listening apparently. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much for joining us. If you have a question for Liwen about Love at Second Sight, writing rom-coms,
Or anything else.
anything, just put her on
Or
the spot.
spam.
like we did. Yes, spam. your best spam recipe. We'll take that today. It seems fitting. So please leave us a comment on YouTube. You can also use the Facebook page if you want. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to fall in love with a good book. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.